Scruffy Audio Network.
Okay? You never have any energy. You always sound like
What do you
you're
want me to do?
sleeping.
You mean do a cartwheel or something?
I have some energy right now because I just got off the phone with Lowe's and I was really angry with it.
You did. Yeah.
I hope Lowe's doesn't ever sponsor us because they're going to go back and listen to this one and they're going to say, why was he angry at Lowe's? Because they're terrible. That's why.
Yes.
Brought to you by Home Depot. Okay. Hey, welcome to Why Would You Go There, podcast about travel. I am Troy.
Welcome. I'm Lee.
Exactly. And today we're going to talk about...
how to find us on social media.
Yeah, do that. That's what we're going to talk about. We got 30 minutes of that.
That's right. Facebook, Instagram. We got it on Why Would You Go There on both of those. And then Twitter, we got at Why Would You Go. So check us out and download us on Libsyn.
Yeah.
Apple.
It's iTunes. It's iTunes.
It's all the same.
Google Play.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway, so what city are we talking about today?
We were talking about Seattle.
Yeah. Oh man, we're getting so good at this.
We really
it's
are.
only taking us 36 times or whatever. How many podcasts we have?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Seattle.
Yeah, we are.
And I would guess that is a city that most folks that listen to us probably have not been to, but it's one of those places that most folks think, I'd really like to go there.
Yeah.
And it is as cool and as dreary as you think, as you imagine. But let's talk a little bit about Seattle.
You know what you say, dreary? I've been there 4 times, and I've had great weather 2 of those times, and pretty decent weather one of the times. So it only rained 1 time for the place that's supposed to rain a lot. Yeah.
That was the one time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was kind of dreary like the other time, but it was still decent. It wasn't but yeah, it did rain on us a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I noticed that as much as you loathe talking about getting around, that's the first thing you wrote on the board today.
I did. So there's 2 unique things. Well, I guess one really unique thing for Seattle. One of them is ferries, which I'll let you talk about. Because
is that like Tinkerbell?
Yes.
Is that,
you can ride those around. Yeah.
Oh, is that ferry Fairy? No, it's Ferry. Yeah, ferry. Yeah.
And
you can ride those around.
Yeah, which we actually had to take one, right? It was like so it's what's interesting about Seattle is it's not like an island. It's not solely surrounded by water, but most parts of it are surrounded by water. So
it's got all these little inlets that go in and out, and
so it's not easy to get to if you're across the bay or whatever. They have a couple bays, I guess, like Salmon Bay and Elliott Bay. Yeah. So ferry's going to be one of your easiest routes.
Yeah, and the coolest thing is, so something that I had not done before going there was, you just drive the car right onto the ferry.
Yeah.
And they're run by the state. That was actually one of my must-sees, one of the things that I thought you have to do when you're there.
Really?
Because you're first of all, you have to do it to get to Seattle. But if you're going to go to any of those kind of outlying areas, you can drive the car right up onto the ferry, and then you just park the car, get out, go up, watch the ferry leave, and it's really kind of cool. It's something that you always see you see it in a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows. There's just people standing up there kind of freezing, looking out, and just watching themselves. It's just like the ferry in New York or whatever.
Yeah,
same thing.
It's
but there's everywhere
because you don't think about
Seattle.
it much. In the U.S., I guess, but it is pretty prevalent in Seattle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was actually kind of fun. It was a unique experience.
Yeah.
And then the monorail is pretty new there.
I don't remember seeing that.
Wasn't there when we were there.
That's why I don't remember seeing that.
And it wasn't there the last time I was there. So it's just been in the last few years. And it's supposedly like really nice. I've talked to a few people that have taken it since it's been there, and it's very convenient, and it takes you all the way to the airport, I think, to like downtown.
So it's a monorail from the airport to downtown. You can go to Pike Place and all that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how close it drops you off to like.
I'm guessing it's just like the subway anywhere else, except
more or less.
It looks like the L in Chicago. It's just
but that's
kind of mass
long
transit.
way of, for all the way to the airport.
Yeah,
it's a ride.
So they had to have been working on that when we were there.
Oh,
it just wasn't.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I remember places where they were putting it together whenever I went there a few times. So yeah, but yeah.
Okay, so two interesting things about getting around in Seattle.
Yeah, which I love getting around. I mean, this is the best thing. Actually,
so is your mom.
Other thing. I thought we talked about this.
We
had a heart-to-heart before this.
We've talked about this forever.
I thought you were going to grow up for once, but apparently not.
No, why would I do that?
Yeah, I don't know. But the other thing that I wanted to mention was some of the other, I didn't put this in getting around, but bicycles and like walking, they're very outdoorsy in Seattle.
Which is so strange because it's dreary and drizzly all the time.
But when it's nice, it's super nice. And,
but it rains there like 250 days out of the year. So for 100 days out of the year, you can bike or whatever. So basically 3 months.
But they're all over the place. I mean, they are all over the place. I feel like it's a very outdoorsy city. I mean, we drove around
there and we tried to hit a few of them.
Yeah.
We were unsuccessful. Yeah. They know how to dodge cars.
Yeah. And, a lot of, is hippie a politically correct term? Probably not.
That's my
but,
kids.
There's a lot of like hippie type people out there. So so they love the
granola.
bicycles.
I think granola is the politically correct term.
I don't know what that means.
There's a bunch of granola crunchers there.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right, so that's what I got for getting around.
All right, good. Let's move on to talk about the things that you have to see when you go to Seattle.
Yeah.
What besides the ferries? What's one? What are your must sees?
Well, the number one place is Pike Place Market. You've seen it on TV. You've seen the people throwing the fish.
That's the place exactly where they're throwing the fish.
Yeah. So it's obviously an experience. It's something that you have to do when you go there.
It's just basically a big kind of indoor flea market and fish market, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff like flowers there.
Yeah, there's random stuff.
And I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff like bookshops, whatever. But little trinkets.
It's just a big market.
Yeah,
but it's all kind of indoors and right there on the water.
But man, that seafood there, it looks so good. And obviously, it's so fresh being right there on the water.
Yep.
And if you stick around long enough, which most people do, you can see them tossing the fish. Whenever somebody purchases a fish, they toss it, and you see that in the on TV shows or movies or whatever.
Yeah, you've seen Anthony Bourdain doing that.
Yeah.
And a lot of these goofy comedians go there and try to toss the fish or try to catch the fish, which is even harder, I
like, some of the sports people go there too, and they try to catch them. So it's interesting, and it's apparently a little bit more difficult than it looks.
Well, yeah. I mean, somebody's flinging a 20-pound slimy fish at you. It's going to be hard to catch.
Yeah.
It's not like a baseball or a football.
But yeah, that place is pretty great. And again, you can get some fantastic seafood there. You and I ate there, actually.
Yeah, I thought we were going to wait to talk about food.
We did. I was just saying you and I ate there.
Okay,
yeah.
So we'll talk about food later. We did eat there.
We did. Okay, yeah.
Okay. What else?
The
Space Needle.
Yes, the Space Needle.
Yeah, that's the iconic thing that you think about.
It is.
When you think about Seattle, is the Space Needle. It's so iconic that I have never been up in it. We went there and just did not make the time to do that.
Well, I did it.
Okay, well, good. So tell me about it.
Twice, actually.
I bet you can see everywhere.
You can. It can be pretty foggy, pretty hazy, because as you can imagine by the weather. But I was lucky one day and got to see incredibly far. I don't know how far, but you can see Mount Rainier from up there, and
you can see Mount Rainier from all over the outskirts of Seattle.
That's true.
Which is one of my things that I think you have to see, and you can't avoid seeing it because it's just this big random mountain that's jutting out. Like from the middle of nowhere. There's not mountains around it. Just one random mountain.
It's like snow-capped too. So it's so beautiful, so picturesque. But yeah, it's incredible to see. And you're right. It looks relatively flat, and then all of a sudden you see this just beautiful little mountain.
Yeah,
not little,
weird.
but beautiful mountain out there. And the Space Needle, it goes up like 520 feet, and like a lot of those, it has its own restaurant inside too. So you can go
take your wallet, because it's going to be expensive.
You can. But yeah, you can see that, and then there's several other things that you can see. You know, obviously you can see around Seattle in itself, but, you know, there's other like national parks and stuff.
How long?
And other
So how long does it
ranges.
take you to get up in that Space Needle?
It's not long.
And
really.
is
the two times I did it, it really
it's kind of an
wasn't
elevator?
long.
There's some kind of elevator or something inside?
Yeah.
How many people fit in that little elevator?
I don't remember it being like a crazy big elevator.
Yeah,
Not
I imagine not.
Yeah, not like 40 or 50 people. I for some reason I remember it maybe being like 15.
That's actually bigger than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but
maybe
you know,
Eiffel Tower
they cram
size
you
or
in there.
something.
They cram you in there. But yeah, I think everybody should do that for sure. It's definitely worth the view. You know, try to plan it around a day where you're going to have great scenery, great weather, so you can see the Cascade Mountains.
Yeah.
But yeah, love it. What else do you want to add?
That's really kind of all of my must-sees. I mean, if you go to Seattle, you have to go down to Pike Place Market. I think you do need to see the Space Needle, although I saw it from just the exterior. And then, of course, you're going to see Mount Rainier. But you have something else written on the board. Apparently, you want to get some coffee when you go.
So, you know, what's funny is I'm not really somebody who cares that much about something like this, but like the first Starbucks is there. And, you know, my wife loves it, so of course we went there. I mean, I think it's cool that it's the first Starbucks, but, you know, whatever. So for some people, that's pretty fun. They're going to enjoy it.
Is that where Seattle's best is from?
Yeah. You know, funny enough, I looked up a few places because I knew that there were several places from there. Do you know any other places that are from there? Like
coffee?
Big companies? No, just companies.
Is 3M there?
I don't know who that is. So
3M that manufactures all the office stuff, those little Post-its and all that stuff. I think they're there.
Okay.
My wife has been to Seattle, I think, 3 or 4 times on business. So who else is there?
So, you know, Starbucks started there. Amazon, which I assume you knew.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Okay. Microsoft is from like that area. That area. Boeing.
She's definitely been to Boeing.
Which we'll kind of talk about here in a minute. And then like Nordstrom and Costco are some of the big... Yeah, they're all headquartered, or maybe not headquartered, but started there. Yeah.
Okay,
so
interesting.
There's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Sweet.
Those hippies are smart, apparently.
Yeah. Why? And also, you know, all the 90s music started out there.
Yeah.
You know, yes, Pearl Jam's from there, Mother Love Bone, all of those great 90s groups.
Is Dave Matthews Band from there?
I hope not. God, I hate that guy.
Whoa.
Okay. Terrible. I think he's from North Carolina. Everything terrible from North Carolina. I actually think he is. Hey, is Dave Matthews from North Carolina, Ben? Ben has he doesn't even know who Dave Matthews is. Ben's only like 24.
That's so true.
All right, so let's talk about some other things to do.
You go ahead and do that. I'm going to look up where Dave Matthews is from.
Okay, you do that. So
what are you laughing at?
I'm looking at your Chihuly Museum, which Chihuly is actually the number one thing on TripAdvisor. And I'm going to take a picture of this board and post it because you have butchered Chihuly's name. So for folks who don't know, he does this great glass art, and it's all these blown glass. Have you ever seen it? You know what I'm talking about?
You know, I have.
They just had an exhibit at Biltmore.
Never heard of it.
And they have a permanent exhibit at Maker's Mark. And then they had an exhibit recently at Biltmore, for probably the last 2 or 3 years. We had an exhibit here in Knoxville, the Museum of Art. It's great blown glass. It's all kinds of crazy shapes and stuff, but you do not spell his name like that. So that is the number one thing to do on TripAdvisor. Apparently he's from that area, and he's got a huge museum there. It's called the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum. So that's one of the things that you can do. Now,
was I close to spelling it right?
No, it's no, not even close.
I just wanted to spell my name.
Yeah,
Lee at the end.
Yeah, that's everything else is messed up. You basically got the CH at the beginning, and then nothing else is right.
Winning.
Yeah, you are winning. And then also you have to see the harbor, so you could do some kind of harbor cruise.
Yeah.
Seattle has dozens of harbor cruises on TripAdvisor. I didn't even mention TripAdvisor earlier because the Space Needle's number 3 and Pike Place is the number 2 thing to do on TripAdvisor. And you can get all kinds of guided food tours of Pike Place and that whole area. But I'm backing up now. But Chihuly Museum, number one, harbor cruise. You can cruise around the harbor. You can get a harbor cruise in Seattle's harbor.
Wow. Really? That's interesting.
Oh man, I entertain myself so much.
In the harbor. That's
and then
thank you, noted.
don't do those duck,
totally got lost.
Don't do those duck cruises. There's all kinds of problems with them right now.
Yeah.
But then I see you have something written up here called the gum wall.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining Elf pulling that gum off the sidewalk in New York City.
Almost exactly what you're thinking.
Oh, really?
There's like a whole wall. It's just disgusting. This just disgusts me. There's like a whole wall of gum, like on both sides. People just chew gum and just put it on this wall. Like, I mean, it is covered. It is disgusting.
How did that happen?
I don't know, but I'm like, who would touch that? Who wants to take something out of their mouth and put their finger on this wall?
Well, you're sitting across the table from somebody that does. I want to go to Seattle just for that.
A man that pulls a urinal cake out of a urinal to put it in another urinal.
We're not airing my dirty urinal laundry.
Yes.
Right here on this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
just so
man.
you guys are aware, he did that.
That's the urban legend. There's so many urban legends about me. It's because I'm legendary.
It's so true. But yeah,
anyway,
so you think that's cool? That's so disgusting. Like it's neat to see.
I think it's neat
disgusting.
to see. Yeah, I think it is kind of neat to see. But
it's disgusting.
The germs are going to be gone if the gum has been sitting up there for a while. But so is the gum like all different colors and everything?
Oh yeah. You just chew it and just throw it up there. Or I guess put it up there. I don't know. I don't know how people stick it up there or not.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, Dave Matthews is from South Africa, by the way.
That sounds crazy
I'm
too.
just telling you, South African-born singer.
Dave Matthews from South Africa?
That's what I said.
That's probably what's wrong with him. No, hey, South Africans don't call in, don't email in.
Oh man, I have all these Twitter followers from South Africa. What's your problem? They're gonna hate you.
Well, good. I hate him.
He started in Charlottesville, Virginia, though.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
Okay.
So the gum wall.
So what else besides the gum wall is something else that you can see or should see when you go to Seattle?
You know, this is probably a must-see. It is definitely a must-see for me, even though I haven't done it. But that's why I've got it in.
Well, then you've been there 4 times. It's not a must-see if you haven't done it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't even know about it like the first 2 times. But the Museum of Flight is there.
Because Boeing's there.
Yeah. How incredible is that?
Yeah.
I love me some airplanes.
Yeah, we went to, so do I. We went to Dayton, Ohio to see the Museum of Aircraft or.
Did you?
Whatever. Yeah.
That's cool. But can you stop coughing during the podcast?
Negative.
Oh my gosh. You're ruining it. This is ruined. Okay. But seriously, the Museum of Flight. So as much as I love airplanes, I love flying, that kind of stuff, I cannot believe I've not done this because that intrigues the heck out of me. And I have got to do that when I go back. It is a must-see for me when I go back.
I agree. Sorry about that. It's 180 degrees in here.
Yeah. But yeah, so Boeing's there too. So I think that Museum of Flight is part of Boeing. But if not, then Boeing probably has their own type of museum anyway. But yeah.
And so the other thing is sports stadiums.
Yeah. You know I love sports stadiums. So they have several different sports, right? I mean, they have...
The Sounders, which most people don't know unless you follow soccer.
Yeah, so they have the Sounders. They have the Seattle Reign, which is one of 10, like, female pro teams.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Female pro football teams?
Well, football and European football.
Okay. Female pro soccer teams. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you like soccer, that's an area for it. My wife always
loves. Which is strange because it's always mucky and muddy there.
Yeah.
So maybe they play indoor a lot.
Yeah. Well, no, they play at where the males team plays at
the Sounders
Century Link Field, which is where the Seattle Seahawks play, which is their professional football team.
Yeah. Which is the coolest stadium that I've never been in.
It is an incredible
I've walked by.
stadium.
It's so cool. Have you seen a game in there?
I have.
Yeah.
And it is an incredible venue. They have like this little area in the end zone. Like it's almost an open end zone, but it has this little, I don't know.
It's just like a triangle.
It's a very
seats.
small triangle. Yeah. So it doesn't even go up like halfway up into what the rest of the stadium does. And they call it the Hawk's Nest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a crazy cool place.
I bet tickets.
They get
I bet
so loud.
Tickets are like expensive, like on top of the Green Monster or something.
Probably.
They're like super expensive.
I don't know that they're that expensive, but yeah, they're probably a little bit expensive. But I'd say that's where some of your hardcore fans go. But it's a great place to watch a game because they get so loud. You know, they're called the stands. The fans are called the 12th man because they get so loud. And when I was there, I'm assuming it's still the same thing. It's been several years since I've been there, but they had like the record for the most penalties against a false starts against the opposing team.
Oh, I bet that's
because
still
they
the
couldn't
case because
hear.
they're so loud.
Yeah. So great place to watch a game. So if you're there, I'd recommend that. And then Safeco Field, which is where the Seattle Mariners baseball team plays.
Yes, which I have visited.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to a game there. We actually didn't go to a whole game. We just showed up. So this was a work trip. And and like we typically do on work trips, we just kill it all day, working so hard throughout the day.
Work our tail off.
It was in the evening, we show up and it's like the top of the 8th or something like that. Yeah. And of course, we're also working hard and cheap.
Yeah,
and
so
neither one of us wants to pay it again. So we just
we didn't want to buy a ticket because we knew we weren't going to make it there on time either.
Yeah, we didn't buy a ticket in advance.
Yeah, and then what's the point?
Exactly. So we walk up, and I remember I was freezing that day, so I went and bought a Seattle Seahawks jacket.
This is after you borrowed my shirt
and borrowed your sweatshirt. So it was
like
great.
A dress on you.
We really look like a cute couple.
Man, I wish I could find some pictures.
We
of
were
that.
such a
awesome.
cute couple because I'm in the Seattle Seahawks, and I had to put the jacket on under your sweatshirt because your sweatshirt was big enough to go over me and the jacket, and I still look like I was in my dad's sweatshirt because I'm a tiny little man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm just in a t-shirt and you're in a jacket.
Exactly. I had on 3 shirts. I didn't expect it to. It's when the sun goes down in Seattle, it gets cold.
Yeah,
but apparently not for brawny men.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, so we said, "Hey, well, real men, right?" I'm tiny. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So we walk up to and decide, "Hey, let's just see if we can get in."
Yeah.
What the heck? You see if we can. We have lots of stories. Well, I shouldn't say this when it's being recorded, but we have lots of stories where we've gotten into some place where we probably should have paid. But whatever. Oh, so we walk up, and the first guy's like, "Nah, yeah." And you said, "Tell me."
We just straight up asked. We were like, "Hey, we've never been here. We really wanted to come watch a game, but we just didn't make it in time. Is there any chance that we just want to see the inside of the stadium? That's it." And the guy was just like, "No." No. So then we decided, let's just walk around to one other place just to see. Sure enough, we walked around to this other place, and I think it was a lady. I can't remember.
It was a lady, yeah.
But she was just like, "Yeah, sure, come on in."
She felt really sorry for you and your disease-ridden friend that was huddled up and shaking like a chihuahua.
My special friend that I had with me.
This little guy. Oh, man, this little guy, he looks like he's on his last leg. He's shaking like a hairless chihuahua here.
He's never seen a baseball game.
Exactly.
Yeah. He can't understand it very well.
I look like he just come over from some third world country.
Yeah. But no, so they let us in, and you want to tell the rest, or do you want me to tell it?
Well, let's share it. It's such a special moment.
Together, yeah.
Yeah, so we found great seats.
Yeah.
Just because people were starting to leave then.
Oh, yeah.
And I think because Seattle was down, and it was by the time we got into anything, it was maybe the middle of the 8th, and Seattle was down, and we're just sit here and watch this game. We got a drink or whatever, and just sitting there. And then you can finish it out because it's so glorious.
Yeah, so we were just sitting there, just kind of hanging out, and we're like, okay, yeah, this is fun, and just watching them play a little bit, and all of a sudden it gets to be the bottom of the 9th, and then Seattle's up, because they're the home team, and they hit a walk-off home run, I think with 2 outs.
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, a walk-off home run to win the game.
Yeah.
So that was pretty glorious,
yeah,
especially for you, for somebody who doesn't love to watch baseball.
Yeah, it went from nobody in the stand caring to everybody caring. That's almost exactly the same story as that Red Sox game where nobody cared, and then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. I don't understand why it is in sports, and I think it's maybe because of the finality that's about to happen.
Yeah.
But it's the same way in football. all the scoring seems to happen in that last few minutes because people are like, okay, you know what? We have to do it now. We have been run, punt for 3 quarters, and now it's the end of the fourth quarter, and we're going to score 24 points.
We got to make our move.
Yeah. And it was the same thing. And it happens a lot in baseball, too. There'll be, a lot of times there's a scoring the first couple innings, then there's 3 or 4 or 5 innings with nothing happening. You really should just go drink a beer and then come back and see the last 3 innings, and that's when everything happens. And that's exactly how it happened there. It was really entertaining.
It was incredibly fun, especially for somebody who does. I love baseball, but you who's, you don't mind baseball, but you're not a huge fan.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
just got to see the action at the end.
That's
and
so
it was
true.
just great atmosphere.
Love the action at the end. Yeah.
You definitely do. Yeah.
So that's kind of our Seattle stadium story.
Yeah.
But then you also have University of Washington up there.
Oh, you ruined it. I was going to ask you a question. Okay, well, so first of all, they call it UW, which I think is hilarious out there. And I had no idea what they were saying. They're like, UW. And I'm like, what are these people talking about? I figured out it was University of Washington.
Since you were there?
Yeah. So it's close to this. So it's close to Seattle. I mean, like downtown Seattle. But did you know that, random fact, Husky Stadium, which is where the football team plays, is on the water. And
we drove by there, but I don't remember that.
There's only one side that's on the water,
okay. I didn't know
but it's one of 3 stadiums that are on the water. That's it. College football. I don't know about pro, but college football stadiums. Yeah.
Where are the other 2?
You don't want to take a guess?
That are on the water. Stanford?
No.
No.
I'll give you one. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
One is about 2 miles from you.
Yeah, us. Besides us. Yeah.
University of Tennessee is one of them, and then the other one is Baylor. So it's kind of cool. They have their own little thing where people like, take boats up and stuff. Maybe not to the extent that Tennessee does.
Nobody has it to the extent we have it. Yeah.
But that was still a fun place to watch a game, and they tailgate great out there. I mean, they cook some great food. So yeah, if you're anywhere near there, then have at that too. It's fun.
Speaking of food, if you're in Seattle, you have got to eat seafood.
Oh my goodness!
There is something that's a restaurant. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Just bumbling through it. Restaurant in Pike Place, which is called Pike Place Chowder. I looked it up today on TripAdvisor. We did not eat there, but 331 reviews, and everyone, they're all just crazy at saying that this best lobster roll, which I would not expect in Seattle, but everyone's saying that that's a great lobster roll. But let's talk about Mike's, which is a place that you and I ate.
Yeah. Or we can talk about Matt's, which is the place that you and I
either one of those, Mike's or Matt's. You know what? I thought it was Mike's.
Mike's pastry because you love Mike's pastry.
I looked up Mike's and I was like, that is nowhere. There's no Mike's on TripAdvisor. Why not? That restaurant was awesome. Yeah. Why isn't it on here? I'm so mad. TripAdvisor, why? It's because I was looking up the wrong name.
You totally were.
Matt's.
Matt's in the Market is what it's called because it's basically in the market. There's like a building that's not like the conventional market that we talked about earlier when we talked about Pike's Place Market. It's kind of across the street, and I think it was on like the 2nd or 3rd floor. You walk up some steps, and there's a restaurant. There's a few restaurants in there, I think. But yeah, Matt's in the Market.
Or Mike's. Well, he goes by either name.
Yeah, that's so true.
Mike's his partner, damn it. That partner never gets any billing.
But yeah, it was some incredible food. It was probably a little bit too romantic for you and I.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Okay, sorry.
It was definitely a couple's thing. Well,
it was.
Our friend Chris told us, you got to eat there. You got to eat there. He had eaten there with his wife, and I guess he thought that we were a couple also. I don't know.
Yeah.
Most people do.
It's a good recommendation. Yeah. But
the food was great.
Yeah. So any of those places I think around there are going to be great.
Well, they would have to be. It's kind of like downtown Knoxville now. You've got to serve good food, or you're just going to be out.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's a little bit pricier than downtown Knoxville, but you've got to serve great food there at Pike Place, or you're going to go out of business pretty quick.
Yep.
And it's hard to not serve great food when everything's so fresh.
Oh my gosh, I get so it hurts my feelings when somebody says they're allergic to like seafood or shellfish.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Jimmy was
literally
here the other podcast.
terrible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean, it hurts my soul.
Yeah.
That people can't enjoy the goodness of seafood.
I agree. Or they won't. Those people
yeah.
just irritates me.
Yeah. Well, they're idiots.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, if you don't like
Just
seafood,
kidding.
if you're allergic to seafood, you should find a way to take a
Yeah.
shot or something and just eat it anyway.
It's so
if you don't like
true. They make Benadryl, people.
yeah, they make it for a reason.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Somebody's going to end up in the hospital because of it.
No, don't listen to us. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, do not listen to us. But I wanted to talk about another place. So down from Pike's Place Market, I don't know if you and I went there, but they've got the pier down there, and they've got a Ferris wheel, and they've got a bunch of other little.
Did not.
They've got a bunch of
We
little
drove by
restaurants
and
and stuff. Yeah, so recommend that too. As part of kind of Pike's Place, I kind of left that off earlier, but it's got great food too. So definitely go there. They're known for salmon out there, so try some salmon. And then garlic fries. Did you have any garlic fries? Do you like garlic fries? Garlic French fries.
So tell me exactly what it is. It's just French fries dipped in garlic?
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Actually,
I love garlic.
So I
love
like
potatoes.
garlic too. And I was a little worried about it. Didn't know how I'd feel about it. Oh my goodness. I can't understand how that has not moved down to the southeast especially.
Yeah.
I mean, it blows my mind because it is so good. So if you are in Seattle, they are known for some garlic French fries, and you've got to
So
eat
what do
some
they do?
garlic
They
French
roast
fries.
the garlic or something?
Yeah,
I need to
different places. I think
Google
they do
this.
different things. I've gotten it at several different places. I even got it at the football game that I went to at Safeco Field, and there's a few places that are famous, well known for it, but there's a lot of places that still have it, and you could just, you just go down and just get that as not like a meal, but.
Yeah.
You can just order those at those counters. There's probably some of those places in Pike Place Market, and there's definitely some down on the pier down there. So yeah, you've got to try it. Also, one other thing that we drove through, I didn't eat there, but they have a nice little Chinatown in Seattle.
Oh,
oddly
really?
enough, yeah,
I did not know that. You would expect it, I guess.
Yeah.
Any big city's going to have that.
So it looked pretty nice. So if I go back, I'll probably eat some in Chinatown
Chinese food,
somewhere. Yeah.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up. What are your final thoughts for Seattle?
Well, now that we're talking about food, I can tell you my final thoughts are I love food. So, yeah.
Especially Seattle food?
Yeah.
Or you just want to make a general statement?
Well, all the above.
Okay.
But, my in summary is I forget about how good Seattle is and about how fun it is. Kind of like you talked about, most people over here in the Southeast where we're from don't really use that as a much of a destination. I mean, you can use it as
it's just so far to get to.
It is, but it's close to Alaska, and it's even close to like Canada, like British Columbia. Yeah. So, I think people sometimes that might overshadow it a little bit, but it shouldn't because it's beautiful. I think it's a terrific place to go. Again, it's one of those places that I don't typically put in like my top 5, but the 4 times I've been there, I've always enjoyed it and it's always been fun. And I think it's a fairly high on my list. I think it's a place that you need to go to. Again, I don't think it's like top 5, maybe not top 10, but it's probably pretty close after that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that I would. Of course, I haven't spent as much time as you did. We were there for 4 days, and we were working most of that time like dogs. I mean, working like dogs.
So true. We drove a lot. By the way.
Oh yeah, we drove all the way up close to Canada
and down to Oregon. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. But up near Canada, it was really you get probably about an hour outside of Seattle, and then it gets really dreary. I'm talking about to the north.
Yeah.
And I actually asked somebody there, do you ever see the sun? And they said, yeah, we have about a 6-week period during the year that we see the sun.
Yeah.
So it takes a special person to live there. And it's not like Alaska where they get some sun. There's so much overcast in Seattle and in that northern area. Anyway, my final thoughts are that I think you should, it's definitely worth a trip. It's unlike New Orleans, which is just a dirt hole. Seattle's actually a pretty nice.
When are you going to let go of that? When are you going to let go of New Orleans?
And when are they going to, as soon as they clean their city up. If they take a bath, I'll let it go.
The food, though, I mean, that's got to count for something.
That's true.
So
New Orleans
there.
has great food. But it's great seafood in Seattle. I think the meals that I had in Seattle were better than the meals that I had in New Orleans. And I love Cajun food.
That's
but I thought I like good seafood that's not Cajun better than I like Cajun food, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So great seafood. We ate seafood every day that we were there. I think the Space Needle's cool to see. I'd like to go up in it. And of course, Pike Place is really cool to see. But I think it's worth the trip. And I think that's it. Why don't you end with our motto? Don't
I
end
will,
me.
but it's going to be one of those places, I think, that if you ever decided to do like an Alaskan cruise or something, it's a great place
we
to
actually
port out
we're
of.
thinking about that. Go there for a day, port out, and then
because I don't think you need to spend a week in Seattle for sure, unless you're going to do a lot of hiking or outdoorsy stuff in some of those national parks or Mount Rainier, that are close by. But I would. It seems like
definitely
a great
worth a
port
weekend.
place.
It's just so far to go for
2
a weekend.
days.
But if you're going to go for a couple days and then take an Alaskan cruise or something like that, I'm trying to talk my wife into that. I don't know when that's going to happen.
Well, let me know. We'll go.
I'm sure you will.
Why are you being like
sure
that?
you will. Whatever. We need to get off this podcast.
What is your problem?
I am ready to. You're my problem. You always
I
promises.
go to Alaska.
Oh, whatever. You've been to Alaska. You've been to Seattle. You're not going to go. You're going to say, "Oh, take a brush."
Gee,
for 2
don't
hours.
forget about us if you ever go
whatever,
to Alaska.
Whatever.
Your husband's a dirtbag.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Ben, cue the music.
It's
about
better
time
to
get out.
go someplace that you hate
Yeah, it
than
is.
to not go anywhere at all.
Yeah, it is. All right. Are we cueing the music? Are we
I
going?
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
What do you think?
All right. That was good. I think. Did you like that?
Hey, I love it.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Okay. I thought you were just okay. I was as usual great.
Yeah,
Other than the coughing and the hack.
Yeah.
What
the
happened?
heck is wrong with you?
Man,
You're
I came in
disgusting.
here wearing a jacket and
You
it's
might as well be
185 degrees in here. I should have taken this.
You
thing
might
off.
as well be chewing gum and just putting it on the wall over here. That's how disgusting you are. Sicko.
Oh man.
But yeah. it was
Okay.
fun.
Hey, do you want to do this promo?
Yeah.
Do it.
What do you want me to do?
Oh, never mind. Hey, if you like what you've heard, you can listen to our other podcast on Scruffy Audio Network. I think we have 36 at this point. There are also some great other shows on Scruffy Audio Network, like Good Job, Lee, like Politicked, Talk Stranger, Sweaty and Pissed, 3D Women, which happens to have both of our wives.
Both of our wives.
So listen to those shows.
Yeah. Do it.
You ruined that. You even ruined that.
We
What is
should have
your
had a
problem?
script. I just wasn't ready. It's too much pressure.
Yeah, oh man. I wonder how often you've said that.